let me tell you some really important things that I think you guys need to remember when you're getting your thyroid labs done. And then let's talk about the nuances of when to test and what to look for. Number one, I'm going to start off with this. If you guys did not know this already, I always highly recommend getting your blood work done in the morning and taking your thyroid meds afterwards and doing it fasted. I have just seen way too many people on thyroid meds, and especially post thyroidectomy, that levels look skewy or like very skewed. When in actuality, it looks like their T3 is out of range. When in actuality, when they test like fasted in between, it's just really low. And what we want to do is we want to maintain levels of our both our thyroid hormones, both T4 and T3, throughout the day, right? And that's why you want it fasted. The biggest problem with doing your labs not fasted is that you have to understand that there will be an artificial peak of your body processing the meds. And this is a natural thing that happens when introducing these hormones into the body. It's a transient peak. So if you happen to catch that peak, you're not really going to be going off of a baseline of your overall hormones. You're going to be going off of a peak of your body processing those hormones. So could there be a time and a place to want to test that? Well, yeah, sure, I guess. If you're in a higher amount, you want to see how high it goes, then, get that peak tested. Sometimes I've done it where, I've they feel like off a little bit when they take their dose. And so I'm like, oh, get these labs done at the peak time, and then let's see what those numbers look like so you can talk with your prescriber about it. So is there a time and a place? Yeah, I can always find benefits in different things, but across the board, a majority of you guys are doing labs because you want to go in and you want to see how to either optimize your own thyroid production, thyroid hormone production and conversion and activation, or you want to figure out how to optimize thyroid glands support, or you want to learn to optimize thyroid meds. And if you're basing it off a transient number, that's just never going to happen. Literally, someone someone in this group had shared in our community membership group, shared her history of labs, and it was crazy to see. There was a period of time where her T3 was in the red because it was like out of medical range, but it was because she was doing it right after taking those medications. Yeah, they're going to be high if your body's processing it. So that's number one thing I want to say. The next thing I want to say is let's talk about like when to test and why to test. So if things are stable, you've worked on healing your thyroid, your optimization has increased, your thyroid output has increased, like in those type of situations, like, yeah, do a full thyroid panel with antibodies, reverse T3 and all of that yearly. If you have a thyroid and you're working on protocols and you want to heal it, you just don't want to be on any type of support, and you want to check on it. Like if you're doing like a protocol, like a natural functional protocol, like I would test every 90 days, give your body a chance to heal from the things that you're doing. Now, if you utilize thyroid gland support, just over the counter, I teach this in the community membership group. Like there's a course here for you guys that you guys can access. And you want to use some thyroid glands to support you as you're healing, then you're going to want to test like what I'm going to talk about those that are utilizing thyroid meds. Thyroid gland support is not meds. It is just a whole cow thyroid cleaner, easier to use, easier to get as a supplement. But I've used it for so many clients throughout the years to just help them just get, the nutrients the thyroid need, the hormones the thyroid needs to just support the thyroid gland itself. Now, follow these recommendations for those of you guys on thyroid meds, all right? If you have a thyroid, your thyroid meds are good and stable, then, you can look at yearly, unless something crazy changes, right? If you do not have a thyroid, I would just check in 6 months. I guess you could do a year. I mean, this is if everything is optimal. Your meds have been optimized. You're within functional ranges. Things are good. I test myself 6 months. I don't have a thyroid. My adaptability is gone. So I'm checking it. So I would do a little bit more frequently. I want to keep an eye on things, but especially for those of you guys without a thyroid, if anything, so let's say you're going to do it yearly, but things start feeling off. This is what I tend to see, right? Or people have met with me, they've been like, oh, like I've been fasting, I've been eating clean, I've been working out, and I just don't see any changes. I've done SIBO protocols, I've been on antibiotics, I've done all of these things, and I just feel like I'm resistant. And you don't have a thyroid, I'm getting labs done immediately. Like I tell them, like, go get your thyroid hormones checked. I think with so many people that are living without a thyroid, you get into this world where everyone, including your doctor, acts like it's no big deal that you've lost this vital organ. So I've done this myself. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I, in my history, don't have like a really great track record with like prioritizing my labs and forgetting my thyroid meds, which is never okay. By the way, never okay. But you can get caught up in this world where everyone acts like it's no big deal that you've lost your thyroid. It is a big deal. And the first place I look is every problem that you encounter with your health going to be related to the fact that you don't have a thyroid and you need to optimize your thyroid meds? No, but a lot of them can be. So I have too many people that beat themselves up, become too restrictive because they're not going to optimizing their thyroid hormones or doing the blood work done the right way. So that's if everything's fine. Let's say now, for those of you guys that are looking to optimize and change your meds, I've seen doctors like change meds. We'll see 6 to 8 weeks. I am not waiting 8 weeks. There's no way in heck I'm waiting 8 weeks. I'm not going to wait 2 months to find out that I've actually not been optimal when my body needs it. I'm gonna test at 6 weeks, and I might even test sooner than that. So if you are trying to optimize your thyroid gland support, you're changing dosages or you're changing the type of thyroid meds you're using, you should at a minimum, or at the medical T4 baseline is going to be 6 weeks. So let me tell you how and where and why I will test at 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I'll do 3 weeks, right? If there's T3 in it, so what we're looking at when we're looking at the baseline of these T4, T3 hormones, we want to look at multiple cycles of their half-life. So when we're looking at the baseline of T4, we want like 5 cycles of its half-life, which we're looking at 5 weeks. So you can get a baseline of that T4 overall number. Now with T3, you know, the half-life is 24 hours. You can do 5 cycles of that. We're looking at a week, but just to be sure, I just do a halfway point, right? I do have a podcast episode coming up with an incredible endocrinologist out of South Carolina. She's amazing. So if you don't know my podcast, the Thyroidless Life podcast, go on there. And we talked about she'll even test at the 3-week mark. We're not going to see the overall baseline of everything, but we can see trends. At that 3-week mark, we can see what the heck is kind of trending with your T3. Because if you end up needing T3, more than likely, you're not efficient at converting T4 into T3. So the T3 mark is going to be more transient, but you at least see the trends of that T3. If that at the 3-week mark, that T3 is staying low, more than likely it's not enough, or it's on the higher end. And like, whoa, you jumped in too much, right? Too hard. This is when you either need to talk with your prescriber or you need to kind of back off with your thyroid glands. As a reminder, guys, this is for education. I want to give you guys the information so that you can have informed conversations with your practitioner. And if your practitioner is not going to listen and have informed conversations with you and bounce ideas and put a game plan together where things are optimized for you, then you should find someone else. Okay?